Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Kalikaiz. Today I am playing Poison Storm. This is a deck that I built a long time ago when Phyrexia All Will Be One came out. Went through a lot of iterations and now I am basically making another large change. So the last time I played this video, we played Thirsting Roots, which I thought was pretty good, but I was missing out on that card draw. And I was missing out on having colored sources. So I've made a couple of tweaks. We cut the Thirsting Roots, we're back to steady progress for proliferation. And then I'm playing 17 lands, cutting a Lorien Revealed, playing 2 Deep Analysis. So the total raw card draw power in my deck is 49. That means I can draw 49 cards if I cast every spell, meaning that if I get to the point of it, I'll probably just deck myself before that happens. Now, the early game is going to be a little bit better because we have 17 lands. I've chosen to play all islands as my basics other than the depletion lands. And then I have 4 Lotus Petal and 4 Snap, which add a lot of storm count for Weather the Storm. Also interacts with my opponent pretty well. And Weather the Storm is good versus the burn decks that are everywhere. And then I have 2 Everflowing Chalice and 4 Pentad. I find that the mana from those chalices just let us storm off a lot better, which I really like. And then I'm playing just 4 Infectious Inquiry. I don't think we have to rush to poison our opponent, so I'm just going to go with this. And I would much rather have a poison spell that draws me 2 cards versus Prologue to Phyresis, which draws me 1 card. Now the sideboard has changed. I cut the Moment's Peace. I wasn't actually bringing that in versus any decks. So what I have brought, well, other than Bogles, but Bogles destroys me because they have Flaring Pain, so I moved to Serene Heart. Hopefully this can destroy Bogles if we find them. And then in the sideboard, we have the 2 Breath Weapons, which were cards I was playing previously. But I'm also playing 2 Scattershot, so it gives me more removal spells and also helps me versus fairies. I have 4 Dispel and 4 Bring the Ending, so those 8 cards can swap with Snap and Weatherstorm in matchups where life gain and counters and creatures removal type stuff don't matter at all, like High Tide or Cycle Storm or something. But then Dispel will probably come in versus something like Terror, and also is very good against Red Elemental Blast or Pyroblast. So that is my deck tech. Hopefully it wasn't too long. I will see you in the matches. Upstate New York Pauper is hosting the second event in their 2025 Open Series on Saturday, August 9th in Rochester, New York. The event currently has a cap of 64 players, and a cap that's $1,500 in cash prizes. I'll be there, and I hope to see you there too. Thanks for watching. Did you know you could get sideboard guides on patreon.com/Kalikaiz? And did I mention you can get early access to videos on the YouTube page in the membership section? And if you like these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. Match 1 on the play. Let's do it. And we've got a solid hand. Let's keep. So we have Beatbog into Scary with turn 2 Everflowing Chalice. And then turn 3 we can cast a Steady Progress into maybe playing the Surgeon's Insight. Beatbog, your turn. Okay, our opponent has led on a bridge. We don't know if they're Wildfire. We could just play the Infectious Inquiry this turn. I think I'm still going to play the Chalice out and pass. And then I can Steady Progress into Petal Infectious Inquiry off the Chalice. They're on red-black, probably Jund. Let's go Steady Progress. This is going to grow my Chalice and put the depletion counters back. Finding a Weather the Storm. I'm just going to cast the Infectious Inquiry here, and then I'm going to hold the Lotus Petal in hand now that I found the Weather Storm. I can use this mana to cast the Surgeon's Insight and draw 3 cards next turn. Synthesizer. So they're on Mardu Synth probably. They find a Lembas. Playing a mountain, they will cast the Lembas. Let's see how they scry. Probably looking for that white source. They went top, so they probably found a white source or a Wildfire. Let's just play land. Draw 3 cards. Poison you again. And this is like the dream matchup for Poison Storm for sure. Let's put a Petal on the table and pass. We can discard the Woodlot if they play a Refurbished Familiar. Any slow, clunky deck that's not really doing anything is going to get just destroyed by us. They play a Refurbished. That is fine. I'll discard the Woodlot, like I said. Do not even need it. Seems they're going to Wildfire one of my lands. The Scary. That does take me down on blue mana. Fine. We will grab blue source. So wildfiring my land means they either have the white source in hand. That was super greedy of them because they could have drawn a card, made another land drop, and found a white source. Very, very greedy. How about I just instead draw 3 cards while you do nothing? I love it. Draw 3. Doot. And we found a Pentad. They go to 3. That means we can play the Pentad Prism off the Lotus Petal. Now I've got in the petal. Maybe I want to snap their creature. I think I'm just going to start with a Contentious Plan. Yoink. Like another island. Now I can bounce this, untap these 2, or untap. I'll have Weather the Storm, draw 4 cards, bounce this. Yep. Untap. We're going to make blue. Deep Analysis me. Draw 2. Why don't I just Deep Analysis me again? Draw 2. Storm is 7. And how about a Weather the Storm? Now I've gained 24 life, and if you want, you can replay your Refurbished Familiar. I mean, that's fine. They concede. That's what I thought. Okay, we want to bring the ending over the Dispel in this spot because it counters Wildfire, and it counters their Refurbished Familiars. I don't know if we need the snaps. I think that's going to be my cut here. It can give me bigger weathers, but I don't know if we need it. All right, we have another really good opener here with an Everflowing Chalice into an Experimental Augury. If I find a different colored mana, then I can play the Pentad Prism and try to Experimental Augury, growing that specifically. But having the major amount of mana off the Chalice will allow me to cast Vivisurgence Insight on turn 3 if they don't have a Pyroblast. And now they've shown us a Rustveiled Bridge. But they mulligan to 5, which means they're probably going to hit their bridge with a Wildfire on this turn. There's the Wildfire. If you're going to mulligan deeply, I think that makes a lot of sense as a keep. They find all 3 of their colors. I found a Peat Bog. I think I will just play the Chalice here and pass. This allows me to go Pentad Prism into Augury on the next turn. I can even Pentad Prism and then wait to play the Augury. Opponent has a Duress. That's not good. So they can take Pentad or the Vivisurgence Insight. Luckily, like, long term, Duress doesn't really matter versus me. As long as I can cast some of my spells, I'm going to go over the top of them regardless. Just, you know, draw 3, draw 2. Like, it's just not going to be effective. They discarded my Weather the Storm. So they are basically saying that on a Molt 5, they are going to be aggressive enough to win the game. That's interesting. They're tapping out of red. Is there going to be a Wildfire? They could Wildfire the Peat Bog. They cast into fire my Chalice. Okay. That stinks. I mean, obviously. We're going to Pentad Prism. We have enough mana, luckily, that I can now Experimental Augury and then even cast the Inquiry after that. So we played a land this turn. We Augury. I'll take, I guess, Bring the Ending. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just hit them with an Infectious Inquiry. They go to 1 poison. We find some steady progresses. Now the problem is that I really need another land drop at this point. The steady progresses costing 3 mana is not very good. They play a Refurbished Familiar. So this makes me think that they have a, I'm going to discard a Progress. I feel like they have a Pyroblast. Oh, look, okay, they have a Glinthawk. So I'm less scared. Now I can go Progress into Progress, or just Progress into counter your thing. All right, steady Progress. Proliferate all my stuff. And an Insight. Let's cast another Steady Progress. Proliferate. So let's see, do I have something I want to discard? No. I'll play the Lotus Petal out. Pass the turn. When they cast the Refurb, I will use the Bring the Ending. Then if they counter with the Red Blast, we can discard the Infectious Inquiry and then rely on our draw 3s. Here comes the Refurb. Doink. I'm going to attempt to counter that bad boy using my Bring the Ending, which is specifically why I brought that in versus Dispel for Pyroblast decks. And do you have the Pyro? They did not. So their Multi 5 didn't end up having a Pyroblast in it. They get in for 2. So I'm interested in, it feels like they don't have the Pyroblast, but maybe they do. Let's Inquiry and try to find a land. And then we'll cast the Chalice and pass the turn, leaving Petal in hand for a refurb. Now I can cast the Insight off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A Core Skyfisher to pick up their land. They just need to get on the board. Okay. They didn't have to pick up that bridge because Core Skyfisher picks up any permanent. They could have picked up the swamp and had more mana in play. More untapped mana, but they just didn't have anything. Cast the Visitor's Insight. They go to 5 poison. 1, 2, 3. Alright, it doesn't really get me anywhere. Play the Woodlot and put another Prism on the table. Reduces my storm count, but I think it's going to increase the total mana I have available for the next turn. They play a bridge. Plays a Skyfisher. I would definitely pick up an untapped land here. They pick up the swamp. So they're representing lethal in like 1 or 2 turns. We will attempt to cast Viviser's Insight. Resolves, and we found a Weather Storm. Go to 6 poison. We're going to use Viviser's Insight, not tapping the Chalice so I can have a little bit more mana. Cast the Insight. Probably should have played the Lotus Petal first. Go to 7. I'll play Sapphire's and Scary out. Cast the Contentious... Excuse me. Cast a Contentious Plan, which is mana neutral. Actually makes a mana off the Chalice, but we're using our colored sources for it. Ba-boom! Okay, another Pentad. 5, blue, blue. Cast the Lorien Revealed. There we go. Lotus Petal. And then we can go white, black, cast the Prism. And now I can use one of my colorless floating to just combo them out. Let's go. Experimental Augury. Doesn't really matter. I could counter whatever they have. Take a land. Didn't matter. Go to 9. And black. End the game. We even had Weather Storm, but I didn't have to cast it. We didn't want to BM them. I'll see you in round 2. We are here in round 2 versus Ludrox. Now they have been playing the Walls Spy deck, and that's not a good matchup for us. We can put back the Weathers. Interesting. I mean, like, they can do a lot of damage. They can do like 70 damage. Is 1 Weather going to save us? Not early in the game. It's card of Weather. But if they go for a fast Spy, we could snap a creature and then they would be SOL. Okay, they use Land Grant. They've got Lotus Petal. Plays the Lotus Petal. Plays the Land Grant. Playing Wall of Roots. Now they can use the Wall of Roots to cycle the Generscent. I will play out the Scary. Pass the turn. Unfortunate that I don't have a better colored source here. They cycle the Generscent. So we know their whole hand. They're going to go for Lead the Stampede. Probably. Plays a land. Lead the Stampede. They have 1 unknown. Finds Dimir Houseguard. I'm going to play out a Pentad. Pass the turn. Then next turn, probably play another Pentad. If I can find a 2 mana proliferation, then I can proliferate, have 3 mana, go Pentad, snap, and then... I wouldn't really get there. My opponent was thinking things through for a while. They play a Gatecreeper Vine, which can get them a black source. And then they can Wildling off the Wall of Roots. They play a Winding Way. A Winding Way... I guess they just found tons of stuff. They discard hand size. Let's cast this Chalice. And then... So if I now Study Progress, they somehow have it, I could snap a creature. I think I will Study Progress. Add a negative counter to their creature. Find a Deep Analysis, which is not very good. They cycle a Troll. Interesting that they did that off of their black mana. So they have the House Guard. Then they discard. Wildling. Plays a Wall of Roots. Battlement. Caretaker. We're going to be hosed because cannot take care of all their creatures. Play Pentad. Study Progress. Negative on that thing. Cast Experimental Augury. Any order. Negative on that thing. Maybe it makes sense to snap the Battlement. Then they have to play. They have 1, 2, 3. And just replay it. I think I'm just going to go to the next turn. Can they Transmute and play their creature? Yes, they can. Ugh. I think I'm dead. Okay, we're dead. Fair enough. So I need to kill their board. Scattershot. I want to bring the ending. And then I don't want the weather storms at all. Trim a deep analysis. Trim a land. And we'll submit. Alright. On the play. Mulliganing. Okay, this is pretty solid. We'll put back a steady progress. We'll go land, turn to the Prism. Play the land. Your turn. I guess they have Mass Vandal in their deck, so Prism is actually not amazing. But I still think it's good to have in play. Put the Prism on the table. And they cycle the Troll, so they could have Mass Vandal turn 2. That would stink. I think that their deck is just mostly going to beat what I'm doing. They find a Gate Creeper Vine. Swamp. We will Contentious Plan. 1, 2, 3. Another Prism. That's quite good. And then we'll go Contentious Plan. And then Augury looking for a poison spell. There's the Infectious Inquiry. Play the Lotus Petal. I guess we could cycle the land, but I'm probably going to find a land, right? I'm probably going to find one. We'll find out. We did not find one. That's fine. Okay, so the Bring the Ending is good because now I can potentially counterspell what they're doing. And if they go after a Prism, I can Lorien Revealed. They play a Gate Creeper Vine. Interesting. We'll Steady Progress. You go to 2. I can snap. Let's snap a Gate Creeper Vine. Untap. And then draw 3. You go to 3. We still have not found a land. So I think we have to Island Cycle and play a land out, and that allows me to have the ability to cast the Bring the Ending. We'll play the Lotus Petal so that I have Bring the Ending even through destroying the Pentad Prism. They cycle a Genersent to get it into the graveyard. Don't believe they have any more lands. They were playing 4 previously. 3 cards, 4 cards, or 4 mana in play. We're just looking for like multiple Bring the Endings so that we can get through a couple of Mezfiends. But if they play a Mezfiend here, I think I have to try to counterspell it so that I can lead the Stampede. Okay, we will counter. They're just so far behind if I time walk them like that, but maybe not. They have a Lotus Petal. What are they going to do now? Another Gate Creeper Vine enters the battlefield, but they have nothing to search for. I will cast Vivisurgent Insight. Go to 4. Cast Steady Progress. Go to 5. Play a land. Petal. Cast the Infectious Inquiry. Because I need that, I need to be able to kill them. And we didn't find anything. So this next turn, let's see if they can kill me. Dang. They can kill me. Well played. We'll go to the next. Round 3 on the play. We really could have been able to get there on the previous game if we just drew any number of counterspells or snaps in the top 5, and we whiffed. Bad whiff. But here we have turn 2 Infectious Inquiry plus Experimental Augury. Let's see. Will it be enough? We have a snap if they're on walls again. Guildgate. I will play Petal. They're probably playing CawGate. I'll go ahead and infect you. So you don't need more than one, more than a couple of Infectious Inquiries. You're just going to draw them anyway. I'll pass the turn. I'm a little concerned about them having Counterspell or Spell Pierce. They're brainstorming. So if they use a spell to clear the brainstorm, then I'm free to cast Experimental Augury. And they are going to Lorien Revealed. So we will Experimental Augury. Finding Insight. You go to 2. Pass the turn. They play a Sacred Cat. What do they get? An island. Okay. Let's play Pentad. Resolves. I'll try an Infectious Inquiry. I'm going to counterspell. Play Peepog. I can go for Snap on this. That resolves. Then I can Infectious Inquiry. Then I'm kind of out of blue mana. That puts me to... Alright, we'll try Snap. Bounce it. We'll untap these 2 lands. Cast an Infectious Inquiry. Okay, I guess everything's chill. They just didn't have anything. Your turn. They cycle for an island. Plays a Sacred Cat again. Plays Scary and pass. Definitely need to resolve this Vivisurgence Insight, so I'm trying to wait. Okay, they play Sacred Cat. That's fine. Another island. Weird. They've drawn almost all their islands. Play land. Pass a turn. They play Basilisk Gate. Sure. They pump up the cat. Pump up the cat. Pump it up. We get in for 4. Need a proliferation spell. Right now, I do not have enough counters on my lands. So, okay, we found a progress. Try steady progress. Okay, let that resolve. Okay. We will cast an Infectious Inquiry. Opponent goes to 5 poison. I will go for a Contentious Plan. Maybe they have Spell Pierce. Plan you. Okay. Do I need to do anything else? Play a land and cast Weather. Go ahead. What's funny right now is that CawGate is the aggro deck in this matchup. I'm just chilling, just sitting back. They have a 3rd cat. Okay. Pumps the cat. I think we're going to have to try to play a draw 3 this turn. Let's cast Progress first. 3 to 7. Finding a plan. I'll plan. 3 to 8. Trying to get them to use their counterspell on something that doesn't draw a lot of cards. But so far it's not working. Feels like they have counterspell. That's Experimental Augury. They'll go to 9. Now they have the counterspell. There you go. Bounce your cat. Untap. Draw 3 cards. And then you will be dead. We win game 1. So we have to bring in probably Dispel. I don't know if they're going to be bringing in Dust to Dust. They might. They have Pyroblast. They probably have some number of Dust to Dust. Snap is sweet, but probably not required. Let's just submit it like that. And maybe it would... this isn't amazing. I think I mulligan. So we were really looking for blue mana. There we go. Keep. We will put back a single basic. Our deck is a blue deck splashing black and splashing green. We can turn to the Infectious Inquiry off the Lotus Petal, which is why I specifically like playing Lotus Petal. They play a Modern Age. We're going to just jam the Inquiry on turn 2 and then play a land. Probably just the Scary. But now that I have the Scary, I have this going, okay. I would not be able to protect an Experimental Augury with the Dispel. They discard a Dust to Dust. Nice. Okay. Now I found a Lotus Petal, so I can protect the Experimental Augury. They discard a Sacred Cat. They play another Modern Age. So they're trying to get creatures on the table to try to pressure my life total. But it's so slow that even just naturally drawing into like a small weather will be fine. And they discard another Dust to Dust, plays a land. Let's play out Scary. Play a plan. Put you to 2 poison. Then cast an Augury. I'm looking for Pentad Prism, baby. Very nice. I didn't even have to say it. It just came to me. Alright, opponent's turn. Now they can just ride these Modern Ages, trying to not actually cast any spells, and then using those as threats and try to Delver me. They discard a Sacred Cat. They play a Hawk. They're holding up Pyroblast specifically. We're going to go Pentad into Steady Progress plus Dispel. Actually play the Pentad off the Lotus Petal makes way more sense. That way I have more mana from it. I was trying to just like put it on the table. That wouldn't have been that great. So Steady Progress. I like to use the blind draws first. We haven't made a land drop this turn. They have a Pyroblast, which I accounted for in my hand, with the Dispel. Proliferate. Some of these proliferations are weird because this one says proliferate, draw a card. This one says do stuff, then proliferate. This one's proliferate, draw a card. It's like, how do I know? We're going to Augury, trying to find a land now, but we found a Dead Prism. I think that's better than a land. Okay. They go to 5. Actually, I'm just going to cast the plan and blind draw. Go to 6. Found a land. They've discarded Dust 2 times. I'll play another Prism. We have to make sure it's 2 different colors, blue, white, and pass the turn. They could have another Dust. It would be difficult for them to cast it, but they had it. Fine. I'm surprised to see 3 Dust in their hand. But now we're out of colored sources, so bummer for me. We find the Lorien Revealed. We have no snaps in the deck. They have just draw 3 while they're tapped out. Pass the Chalice. Pass the turn. I hope I can find a Lotus Petal so I can weather the storm. If they have a Basilisk Gate, it's pretty bad. Okay, they draw. They maybe like punked me, I guess, by having the double Dust discard. We're at 10 life. Basilisk Gate would be find a Woodlot. Let's deep analysis. Basilisk Gate would be +4 or +3. Play the Woodlot. So 5, 6, 7, 8. That'd be exactly lethal. So I guess I have to pass. Yeah, okay. Next turn I can weather the storm. They're going to loot off the Modern Age, discarding an Outlaw Medic. They have another gate, but it's not a Basilisk Gate. They put me to 5. They're currently at 7 poison. I will lead with Deep Analysis, draw 2 cards, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast the Lorien Revealed, resolves, play the Peat Bog, cast a Weather Storm. So this is 9 life. They have double counter, then I have to use a Dispel on one of them. So this is going to put me to 11. Okay, not good. But we do have all of our colors now. And then I can discard. We only have to discard 1. Okay. Now they have a lot of threats. The nerves are rising. Maybe the snaps could be there over the Chalice. Snaps were pretty good. Find an Insight. I guess I start with an Infectious Inquiry. Let's have to use Counterspell. When it goes to 8. Find Contentious Plan, that's very good. Plan. We go to 9. Okay. So I want to play the Chalice first. I guess so. Play a Chalice. Multi-kicker 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Cast the Insight. 1, 2, 3. This will kill them. If they have a counterspell, I have Dispel, and then I can they have to use another counterspell. Dispel. And they have a regular counterspell. And that jacks up the storm count. It's a little difficult to tap the heap gates on Magic Online. I understand that. And we'll gain 24 life. We got a 28. Opponent's going to get in for 7. I got a 21. A steady progress. Try a steady progress. They have a counterspell. Okay, what about a Vivisurgeon's Insight? Boom! GG. We'll see you in round 4. Okay, round 4, we are on the draw. We have a very solid hand. Let's see what they're up to. I'm a little nervous, waiting to see what they'll be able to do, because our Chalice won't come down until turn 2, and by then they'll have lots of setup time. They play a Forest. I don't know what that means. They might be on the Walls Spy list. Play Woodlot. Okay, they're on Dredge. So how do I beat Dredge? I have to be faster than them or go huge with my life gain. Play a Chalice and then play a Scary. Sideboard wise, I have maybe Breath Weapon. Bring the Endings. It's definitely pretty tough to beat Dredge, to be honest, because they just go like so big, and they have all of the ancient grudges and stuff to handle all of our artifacts that are pretty integral. They got in for 1, we're at 19. Cycles an End for a Wooded Ridge line, and then they cycle another Ent. So if I think I can actually Experimental Augury into Snap into Insight. So let's try that. Play the Peat Bog, cast Experimental Augury, make the Inquiry. Any order. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bounce this thing. I think I would rather have the insight go off this turn than the insight in the inquiry. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just think it puts me in a better position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I've got, let's see, 6, 9, 10 mana on turn 4. They have to spend some time recasting their creatures, but it is going to continue to mill them, which is quite good for them. They're probably going to discard a Stinkweed Imp. There's the Stinkweed Imp. Milling 2 Dread Returns. They play the Satyr Wayfinder. They mill over a Lotless Giant. They can choose a Swamp or Forest as their lands. Choose the Swamp. Gets in for 2. Let's see. We play Infectious Inquiry. Oh boy. Pentad. Into Petal. Into another Pentad. Oh, it's gone. Play Experimental Augury. Take the Contentious Plan. It's just cheaper. 2 poison. Okay. Plan. Trying to build up my Chalice here. Come on. Well, we're looking for a big draw spell. Found an island. Not terrible. Because now I can chain without tapping the Chalice. Go to 4. We kind of whiffed. But now we can stop them from bringing back the Lotless Giant on this turn if they're kind of threatening lethal by snapping a creature. They rumble. Milling over Scrapwork Mutt. Chose Geothermal Bog. They're going to unearth the Scrapwork Mutt. 10 creature cards in the graveyard. I can respond by snapping that. Bounce. And we will untap 2 lands. They graveyard the Stinkweed. Knot of the Bone goes to the graveyard. They have an Exhume. 11 creature cards currently in the graveyard. Now, if they want to cast a 2-drop, they have to use the spawn, which means that they can't really go off. But I kind of have to win the next turn, so that means that I think I need just a really good draw. I would have to draw chaining draw spells. A Deep Analysis could be good. Visitor's Insight. We've used 1 Insight. 1... Yeah, that's it. So we have 3, 6, 10, 13. There are a lot of draw spells. We drew a... When it stopped on my upkeep, making me sweat it out. We drew Lorien Revealed. Perfect. Okay, so let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cast the Lorien. We'll float a green. You can play Pentad Prism. Play a Saprison Scary. Now I could snap the spawn into a Weather. I don't know if that's going to be it. Cast Wayfinder. I mean, I guess once they dread return their creature, I can then snap it and then from there go Weather the Storm, so gaining some life, even though I will be taking a lot of damage. Dread return for 14. Okay. We got another snap though, so I'm not dead yet. Not quite dead yet. Bounce this. Untap. And a Weather. So we will take 15. And then they can unearth the Mutt, discard the Giant, and attack. Then we could just die on the next turn again. But we also could win if we chain. I go to 12. They flash back the Acorn Harvest. We're going to get killed next turn. Let's see if we draw it. Inquiry. We'll use Infectious Inquiry. Floating the black. They got a 5 poison and we lose. That's okay. So I'm going to bring in the 4 Brain the Endings. I think I can afford to cut a land because we need to risk it for the biscuit. And then cut it 1 snap because it's not super good. Or we can cut the Chalices. Chalice was kind of medium. Snap does allow me to have some chaining. Let's go like this. I'm on the play. Game 2. I've got my best starts. Maybe. Repeat Bog into Prism Augury. And then try and, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would not be enough. It's almost enough to just cast the Insight on turn 3. Repeat Bog. We have the Petal, so now I can Repeat Bog, Petal, Prism, Augury. I'd really not like to play this Repeat Bog out though, because I want blue sources in play. So let's play the Pentad and then cast the Augury. Finding Lotus Petal, Vivicer's Insight, Deep Analysis. I think at this point I want the Insight, and I'll pass a turn. They played a Conduit of Pylons and Mill of Forest. Plays a Town Greeter. We draw Steady Progress. I think I will Petal, and then now I'll play the Peat Bog and Vivicer's Insight. Wow, so many prisms. That's good. Pass. Mill an Ancient Grudge. Not very good. They're gonna get in for 1. They're gonna Vandal my prism, my green-blue. Unfortunately, it kind of forces you to decide, because when the trigger resolves, then they can just use it. Just cast the Weather here. Play a Pentad. Play another Pentad. Cast Experimental Augury. Begrudge my Pentad, but I get a blue. And I find Bring the Ending. Guess I'll take that. Then I'll progress. Really was hoping to find a land, but I've been whiffing on lands. Not amazing. They mill Mutt, State of Wayfinder, Circle, double Exhume. So 3 of the 4 Exhumes out of their deck. Gets in for 2. They can Scrapwork Mutt now to discard the creature. Didn't have to tap out. They Vandal again. Annoying. Fine. We don't have any blue sources. Just chilling. It's turn 5. I've drawn a bunch of cards, and I have not drawn another blue source. Sad for me. One is going to get in. Plays a Circle. So the one good thing is that we have the Bring the Ending in hand, which they're likely to tap low. I'll play a Pentad, and maybe we could get them with the Bring the Ending. It's my 4th Pentad, and they milled an Ancient Grudge. Ridiculous. That stinks a lot. Oh, well, green, yeah. I get in for 4. Press Bring the Ending? I don't know. I'm not winning either way. I think, is this game 2? Alright, we're gonna concede. It is game 2. Oh, they won game 1 though. So Poison Storm, a little bit not like, we 2-0'd 2 people and we 0-2'd 2 people. Maybe my tweaks against the metagame are not exactly correct. Okay, round 5, we're on the draw. Don't know what we're looking to face with this hand. And we're facing a Conduit of Pylons deck. Oliphant gets Mountain Cycled. What are we playing against? Probably Dredge again. They discard a Scrapwork Mutt. Can I avenge myself? I'll play out the Peat Bog and pass. This one is Red Dredge. Cathartic Reunion. Snacker goes back to hand. Yikes. Sneaky Snacker, goes back to the battlefield. Jeez, okay. Here I am just casting some draw spells. Doop-a-doop. We're gonna have, I find Inquiry. So, I just pass. Next turn I Inquiry. Try to get off a big Weather. Our opponent's dredging. They mill Mountain, Imp, Oliphant, Looting, Neonate. Grab the prize, discarding a Lotless Giant. We take 2 damage. They get to Dredge and Dredge. Already 11 creature cards in the graveyard. Brings back a Gatekeeper just to get in. X for 4. Play out the Infectious Inquiry. We'll go to 12. Play Sacrist's Scary. Found a Weather Storm, which is pretty sweet. 1 creature, 2, 3. And we can snap their creature so they can't giant me. Or I can go Petal, Weather. I guess I just Petal, Weather. Your turn. I'm at like 24. They use the Faithless Looting to draw 2 cards. We'll bring back a Sneaky Snacker. Double Snacker in the graveyard now. Gets in for 2. At least they are poisoned, but have to chain. Go land. Cast Experimental Augury. Finding another snap. So I'm taking the snap. 2. We will bounce this one. Untap. Draw 3. Poison. And that's it for me. This turn looks like I go Chalice into Progress, making the Chalice bigger. Snap. Cast the Insight. Try to find a Weather the Storm. They use a Faithless Looting from the graveyard, which will bring back double Snacker. Then they can attack for 1 and bring back the Lotless Giant with the Dread Return that they discarded. Plays Econo Pylons. And they put Grab the Prize in the graveyard. They attack in for 2. Let's see if they use the Dread Return. They did not. Interesting. Play the Chalice. We'll go for Steady Progress. 4. We have a Contentious Plan. Snap a Snacker. Untap, untap. Cast the Contentious Plan. 5. Okay. Cast Vivisector's Insight. We'd have to draw Weather Petal. Go to 6. Proliferate. They have 10 creature cards in the graveyard. Currently did play a land. So I'll just cycle for an island and pass. I think we're likely dead because they can like Gate Creeper, attack, and Dread Return. We'll scoop it up. This is just feeling pretty difficult. Guess we just get rid of these cards and bring in, or bring the endings. Hope for the best. Maybe Breath Weapon or Scattershot could be okay. Guess maybe I cannot cut the Deep Analysis. I'll just cut 1 snap. Or stink. We lost game 1. Here we are. Guess I'm keeping. We could bring the ending on turn 1. And it's keeping 7. I don't know. They have a good turn 1 play. I'll just lead on my depletion and pass. They didn't really have a turn 1 play. Play out my Scary. Out the Lotus Petal. Your turn. Looking to probably counter their 2-drop. Scrapwork Mutt. Let's just counterspell it. Keep them on the back foot. I'll cast Experimental Augury. Guess I rather have the plan than anything here. Play land. Plan. And we find a Woodlot. The next turn we're playing Woodlot Lorien. Unless they leave open a Pyroblast, I guess. They Cathartic away a Snacker. Concerned that they have Pyroblast in hand. Okay. They're just gonna looting. These are the decks that I should be playing, I guess. I think Poison Storm is pretty sweet, but it's been sort of like power crept out of the format at the moment. We will draw 3. Play out my Peat Bog. I've got to weather the storm. My opponent going to kill me. Cathartic Reunion pitching a Stinkweed Imp. They get back double Snacker. Lotless Giant goes to the graveyard. They could now Scrapwork Mutt, pitching the Stinkweed Imp again. And then Dredge 5. Attack for 4. Put me to 16. They grab the prize, the Stinkweed Imp. Go to 18. Smash, Siege Smash in the graveyard. They get in for 2. I'll go to 16. No Dread Return there. Double Weather. Let's start with an Experimental Augury, kind of looking for stuff to do. Find a snap. You have to take the snap. 1, 2, 3. Let's Contentious Plan. I also haven't poisoned them yet. Okay. Find a Steady Progress. Play snap on a Snacker. It says me 5 mana. Tap. Steady Progress. Okay. Proliferate. Play Woodlot. Gain 15. But we've burned 1 snap so far. 1 Lotus Petal. It's funny because I was playing this deck before and it was going fine. I even beat the mono red Madness deck and deep analysis them for the win. It's not really lining up very well at the moment. They mill a Dread Return. They have 16 cards left in library, 11 cards left in library. Currently 16 creature cards there. 1, 2 Dread Returns. Can they double Dread Return me this turn? I guess that's the main question. Casting a Faithless Looting. If they can't kill me this turn, I will probably kill them with the Deep Analysis, right? No. Because they're at 5 cards in library. They're doing stuff. Doing stuff. Indeed. Right in Flaring Pain, they're just like trying to figure out what I'm doing. Please draw 1 more card and then somehow don't win. That's what I'm looking for. They cannot bring back the Snackers. They missed that in the sequencing. They brought back the Gatekeeper prior to using their Dread Return, or using the Neonate. They missed out on 1 damage. Wow. They go to 0. They have 25. Can't kill me. They just die. 22. GG. We're at 3 life. You have a Fire Blast. So the 1 damage didn't matter, but they messed up. Opponent gives me the oops. Okay, so we win the game. Honestly, I don't know what to do here. I'm just going to resubmit. Dispel, not good. This hand also not good. Mull. Okay. I mean, we're going to keep this. Put back the Lorien. We can try and get them. They've got a turn 1 Epicure. Land past the turn. They're going to grab the Prize of Snacker. Grab the Cathartic Reunion, discarding Stinkweed Imp. Now they're milling like crazy. We're dredging. Okay. That was crazy. That was a lot in the graveyard. Gets in for 1. We're at 19. Play the Scary out. Pass the turn. Wonder how fast they can kill me. They have Snacker in the graveyard, Mutt in the graveyard. We know they have a Stinkweed right now. They're going to Dredge 5. Red Return in the graveyard now. I can maybe mess with their Dread Return stuff by using my Snap. They Faithless Looting to bring back the Snacker. Double Imp, go to the graveyard. 30 cards in library. Gets in for 1. No Lawlith Giant there. Found Pentad. I'll play Pentad. Draw. Any progress. Could snap this and then go Infectious Inquiry into plan of 4 mana. Snap your Snacker. Untap. Infectious Inquiry. Draw. Pedal. Plan. 2. Okay. We have a Weather Storm. So should I Weather the Storm right now? Probably. Gain 21. And then I will have the Bring the Ending lined up for their Dread Return when it matters, hopefully. They cycle an Oliphant. Looks like they just took a draw. And they're going to now Scrapwork. Cathartic Reunion, discarding the Snacker. Let's see if they draw. If they draw cards, they could bring the Snacker back. They're going to Dredge. And then draw 2. Bringing back some Sneaky Snackers. We're at 36 life. They have 21 cards left in their library. I really want to reveal the Deep Analysis. Guess I cast the Contentious Plan so that my counterspell is a hard counter. Finding a Pentad. I will. I'm at 35. I guess I'm passing. I'm kind of hoping to just dome them with the Deep Analysis, to be honest. Let's see what they do. This is Dredge 5, right? Yeah. Go ahead and Dredge. Dredge. Dredge some more. They're at 16. Cycles an Oliphant. They're at 15. Our opponent casts the Faithless Looting. They draw 2 cards. They discard Snacker, Stinkweed Imp. I haven't seen any Pyroblasts. Probably gonna die. If I drew another Bring the Ending, that'd be cool. We drew Experimental Augury. So let's Pentad. Done. Cast Augury. I'll have 5 mana or 4. Another Augury. Go to 4. I think I used the mana off the Pentad. Cast Augury again. Not sure what I take here. I guess the Insight. You go to 5. They're really trying not to get Deep Analysis out, but I don't think I showed it to them last game. They're probably like, what are they even doing? It's such a dinky deck. They have no Giants. They cycle an Oliphant. They have 4 mana. 5 cards in hand. I think a couple of them are Stinkweed Imps. I don't know. They unearth this Scrapwork Mutt. They discard a Giant. They unearth another Scrapwork Mutt. 15 creature cards in the graveyard. Discards a Stinkweed Imp. Brings back a couple of Sneaky Snackers. Okay, that's a lot of damage. They're attacking in. They have 9 damage. Puts me to 21. Can't make them draw 9, so I'm gonna have to Vivisector's Insight and hope I find another Bring the Ending. Or somehow, like, storm off and kill him. It seems not super likely. We'll counterspell your Dread Return. We found a Bring the Ending. That's ridiculous. Vivisector's Insight. 2, 3. Go to 5, 6. Play Woodlot. Pass the turn. I probably should have used the Prism mana Now they can siege smash it. That would be bad. I'm going to lose because I didn't use the prism and hold up the 2 islands. Wow. Not good. Unearths the gatekeeper. I could just die to this, right? Gatekeeper. Right, 20. They have 10, 11. Every creature is another 2 damage. Gatekeeper, we go to 18. They have 13 on the table. Scrapwork Mutt puts me to 15, and they have 15 on the table. Okay, well, nothing mattered, but that's okay. That was rough. I think that I'm gonna put Poison Storm on a pause for a little bit, even though it is a really sweet deck. Hopefully you enjoyed checking out the video. I'll see you in the next one.